Digging a hole, I'm digging a hole. Diggy, 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 hole, hole, hole. Digging a hole, I'm digging a hole. Diggy, 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 hole, hole, hole. Greetings and bienvenue. It is I, Omega, returned once again for more Minecraft adventures. How are you? I hope you're doing well. As you can see, I am standing in front of the Axelon Spire, and I am currently working on a new project, which is going to be over here, which doesn't look quite much at the moment, admittedly, but hopefully, once I get started, it should turn into something special. Ooh, bunnies! Anyway, that's it for the moment. I'm going to get started, gather a few supplies, and then I shall return once we have made a start. Catch you soon! So I've made a start doing some mining, and as you can see, I've got a large red glass spire inside of a hole. Well, we'll call that a core shaft. As you can see, the shaft itself should be circular, and it goes up through the main centre of the little island thing. Not much progress apart from that, just been clearing out some stuff. But it is started, which is one thing. So hopefully, shouldn't take too long to make some more progress. Ooh. Mesa biome. Anyway, back to the digging. So, welcome back, and we've made some progress. As you can see, I've started to hollow out the central shaft and lay out what will be the central column in that shaft. At the moment, admittedly, doesn't look like too much, but everything has to start somewhere, I suppose, and this is starting here. Apart from that, nothing much else to see around here, really. The idea is to create a central shaft and stairway going up to the top of this island, or slightly above it, and to have another platform up there. Similar in idea to the watchtower on the other side of Axelon, but this will sort of balance it out and give it a second structure. So there we go. Apparently, this is also a great place to farm mushrooms. Brown ones. Ooh, they're handy. You can ferment spider eyes with them. So just have a few of these. There we go. And we shall carry on. I will be back once I've made some more progress. Hello and welcome back. Well, to be honest, it's been a few days since I last recorded. Maybe about a week and a bit. What happened was another project came up, and I kind of got distracted with my own building project. So I'm going to take you over and show you this other build that I'm working on. And I'm also going to show you a side project that came up due to this other build. Now, hopefully this episode won't run on too long, as it's more just a sort of show and tell than anything. But we'll get a bit of building work done, and I'll give you a little tour, and we'll see where we go from there. So let me just grab some glass and stain it up, and I will join you back shortly at our new location. So, back again. I thought the best way to show off the new project is coming on it as if, ooh, crap in hell, magmas, magmas, magmas. Oh, die, 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 die. Will you just die already? Jesus. Always fun when you travel in the Nether. I've had a few bad experiences in the last couple of days, but that's sort of taken care of. Yeah, Nether Hub is a bit wide open at the moment. Nether cow. Huh. Strange. Anyway, Nether Hub's a bit wide open at the moment, and we're about to do some rebuilding. There's a vote going on at the moment to decide the design. Now, I'm hoping that my counterpart Void's design will be chosen, because I think it'll look quite smart. It's very Escher-esque, so hopefully it will get chosen and look quite smart in here, as I said previously when I said all that. Oh, it's been a long few days, believe me. Anyway, down this way, and we shall head to the new project. And I'll back in so you don't see the sign. And it's just up here. And I'm looking at the floor, even though you can probably tell what it is by now from the blocks. Welcome to the Leaviathon Mark II Guardian Farm. Okay, that was maybe a bit too dramatic and over build up. We needed a Guardian Farm on the server, have done for, well, ever since we needed sea lanterns. So Shadow, who is currently AFK at the moment, took on the task of clearing out one of the sea temples. Now, I gave him a bit of a hand with a little bit of it, and Rash did a heck of a lot of work helping him out, clear out the area. Shadow wasn't too up on how the build was going to go for the actual farm itself, so I took over at that point and had Void's help with a bit of the mechanics, and Shadow gave me a hand getting stuff together and putting things together so we had the stuff ready for the build. Now, the best way to get an overall impression of what I did for the, well, let's call it the AFK spot and the top of the farm, is a bit of distance in the water. God, I'm so glad for Depth Strider. So turning round, and that is the farm's top. I saw the square of the walls that were put in, which if we come down underwater you can just see there. And I was immediately put into mind of a pyramid. But rather than a standard pyramid, I thought go slightly Aztec in the design with a temple on top, and then chamfer the edges so that they had a bit of a slope to them. I'm not entirely sure what he means by that. I'll need to double check. So yeah, so that's why you get these sort of stepped sides going up here, up to the temple up here, and you've got these slopes going along the side. And yeah, I kind of used up a lot of the produce actually building the farm, but there we go. So yeah, so these are nice colonnades that support the roof. And as you saw, we have the big dome coming up in the middle, which I think looks exceptionally smart. It was Shadow's idea to put a dome on the top, so I'm glad he suggested it. So you come through the main portal, which is to the facing south. So that's on the south side of the building. Oh, better tell him I'm recording. Oh, he's gone. Disappeared. Ah, like a spirit. Oh, he logged off. Oopsie. There we go. Hey. Yeah, Shadow's from Australia, and Australia hasn't got the greatest internet access anyway. His seems to be even worse. So yeah. To the north side of the temple, we have the item elevator that comes up from the kill chamber, which I'll show you in a minute. So it zips everything up and along a water stream, which Void put in, and it goes into this circular channel, well, square channel that goes round the edge. Now above each, there you go. Shadow says hi to everybody. So the channel goes round the side, and as it passes over each bank of chests, there's a sorting system and hopper, which picks up any items which are designated for it. So for example here, we have shards. So lots and lots of shards. And in this one we have crystals. And more crystals over here. And finally, fish. Oh, Lord, do we have fish. Fish for days. I think the server's going to be eating nothing but fish from now on. It is ridiculous the amount of fish we get. I don't think I can stress fish any more than I have already. But there we go. So, yeah. So I built all this up here, and I also built the spawning chamber and the kill chamber below, and Void helped me put in the mechanics for it. So this is the spawning chamber, and it's directly under the AFK spot, which is the top of the temple there. I thought the aesthetic in here was exceptionally nice, so I left it open, so you can come in here and have a look at it. I probably need to put some half slabs down here, which I don't have, but I think there are more downstairs, which I'll go and grab. Which also lets me show you the next part of the build, which is the inside of the drop chamber. So underneath that, which is the spawning tank, is the drop chamber. So the water ends with signs, and I use signs rather than fence gates because they've got less metadata to keep track of. So it's slightly less of a load on the system to have all the signs in place. So they drop down, and there's a packed ice tray underneath the water streams, and that funnels all the guardians into that lava pit over there. And look at the little bouncy buggers go. Die. Die. Burn. Yes. Just like that. Ooh. I'm still recording. Sorry. Got distracted. So coming downstairs even further, we have the main kill chamber. And for this aesthetic, I liked the empty chamber with just the central part being illuminated. So all this is half slabbed, which was done by Shadow and Rash, and the central kill chamber is over here. Now, this slight side platform is just where we've still got our stuff. At the moment, Shadow's been living here for the last few months, so it's kind of his temporary base, and we've still got building materials and other bits. So they drop down from the ice tray into the lava, which inflicts damage on them, which is held up by signs and then over cobwebs. Now, the cobwebs hold them from dropping into the water stream underneath long enough for them to die, and then the items fall through into the water stream, then along and up the channel and up the elevator. It's a very efficient system. I've never seen it used anywhere else, and it was an idea that Voidford came up with. So, well done, Voidford. Oh, come back here, and you can actually see the process happening. Yes. Take that. Take that and die. I'll admit, I have a bit of a thing against Guardians. Got shot one too many times while making this place, and the previous Leaviathon. So yeah, quite happy to see them go. But as to the name, why it's not just called the Guardian Farm or Guardfall or something like that. In the first map, the design was produced by Leia for the Guardian Farm. And it was an unusual design. It wasn't one that other people had come up with. And it was a design that I replicated for this one with some minor tweaks. So we called the Season 1 Guardian Farm the Leaviathon as a take on Leviathan. Much to her chagrin and protests to change the name, it stuck. And because I'd used her initial design with a few tweaks, I wanted to call this the Leaviathon Mark II. Which was kind of fortuitous because Leia actually came back onto the server about the same time. So this is the Leaviathon Mark II, and its name is going to stay that way, despite Leia's protests once more. So the kill chamber's there, the items drop down as I say and into the water stream, get shooted along on packed ice and water flows, and go up the item elevator. Now, I've done some calculations on the drops and the drop rates, and for usable items, and by that I mean the shards and the crystals, we get enough for about 2.5 stacks of crystals every half hour, and enough for about 4 to 6 stacks of shards every half hour. Roughly 1,500 usable drops an hour, which is not bad going for a place of this size, but it can be improved. If we replace this mechanism in the middle with a drop shaft and hopper mechanism, so that they take fall damage and die, not only will we probably be able to get more ink sac from any squid that come through, but it'll kill the guardians off quicker and increase this respawn rate. Unfortunately, iron's a bit of a shortage at the moment because the iron farm, we're having issues with that in Spigot. So I'm going to need to go mining to get a lot more iron to produce the 64 hoppers that we need to create the kill pads. So that's going to need to wait just a little bit, but it's still an effective system and it's still producing a heck of a lot of items, which is really, really handy. So, that is the Leaviathon, and it's an incredibly handy build. I've already converted Axelon Spire, so that it no longer uses any torches, which I'm really happy about, because the particle effect and having a little torch sticking up out of the ground didn't quite work with the aesthetic. Oh, I better say, yeah, recording at the minute. There we go. Didn't work with the aesthetic. So I'll probably do a little tour of that at some point in the future just to show you what it looks like. So, oh, pushed the wrong key there. There we go. So anyway, this is the Leaviathon, and that's the tour of it. Now I shall bid you adieu for the moment and head over to the side project. And I'll explain why we have a side project. Anyway, take care and be back soon. Okay, just quick sidestep for the moment. I came back and I fixed the path here, so you get a much better view of the spawn chamber. Again, I love the way the aesthetic on this turned out. It's so very, very cool. Very cool. Okay, back in the Nether once more, and through into the market district, and that might give you an idea that we're going to be selling something. Oh, there's Nether Cow. So yeah, new shop getting set up, and this one's going to be a joint business by Shadow and myself. And there's my multicoloured technical swap shop, and you can just start to see what the new shop's going to be. Yay! So, funny story. To make the ice tray, we obviously needed packed ice, and we have a packed ice biome fairly close by. So Shadow and I went to go and get some packed ice, and while we were there, well, I took a mule with us. We kind of went ham on all the ice spires we could find, and we still have, a double chest's worth of stacks of packed ice. A bit much for personal use. Now, Dom's packed ice shop closed business fairly recently, so void in the market, we have supply, there could be demand, so why not make a packed ice shop? And that's what's behind me. The idea is to create a sort of iceberg kind of ice flow idea. So rather than using actual packed ice, I'm using coloured glass. As you can see from my hotbar, I've got light blue, some white, and some dark blue. I've already started the build process, which you can see here behind me, like that. Yes, there it is. So hopefully it will be finished shortly, and I will bring you back with an update. Okay, it's been about half an hour or so, and it's time for the grand reveal. And I must say, I do like the way this has turned out. So, ba-ba-ba! The new Biffington packed ice shop! Yay! Actually, that angle kind of sucked for that one. So let me just try and walk backwards. Oh, God, grief. YouTubers, you make this look easy. There we go. But this should give you guys a better view of the shop. And as I said, the idea was ice flow, glacier, possibly a bit of iceberg. Hence the blue, light blue, and white glass. And I think the shop has turned out really rather well. Definitely eye-catching. I like it. I like it a lot. Ooh. And we're just going right round the houses there. Don't like all these bloody chickens. Die, 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 die. Pain in my neck, chickens. So there we go. So it's even sort of styled inside, so rather than just having a square space, I've kept the sort of organically stepped ceiling, which I think works quite well, and there's some centralised lighting as well, which kind of works with the theme. I do know in the default texture pack the sea lanterns have a green edge to them, but I think with water having a green edge at times, especially in rough seas, that works as well. So one of the last things we have to do is place some chests and put in the payment system. Now I'm going to keep a certain amount of packed ice in the shop, and there will be stores elsewhere. So if we do get a surge on packed ice sales, people can tell us about it and we can refill the shop. So, we'll put a trap chest here for payments. And we want side chests or straight on. I've only got 7 chests. So we'll do 1, 2. That's still openable. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I will die. Bloody chickens. I will get another chest for there, and I'll get a chest for the payments to go into. And we shall soon be done. So this is Shadow and Omega's packed ice shop. Now I think I'm going to call it an end to the video there. I think it's run on quite long. We've started a project at the base, which will hopefully continue in the next episode. I've shown you around the Leaviathon Mark II, and that's the packed ice shop. So that's been a few good builds, and that's what's been happening on the server. So I'll catch you guys soon. Take care. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, which admittedly is not a lot, but have fun and catch you guys soon. Bye now!